Good day. Today we discuss the topic about formability of material. What is formability of material? Formability generally refers to the ability of sheet metal to be formed into a desired shape and without necking or cracking, which means without any failure. If we form the sheet metal means which is that sheet metal has a formability. Likewise, we can define the sheet metal. So, in technically, the formability is generally used to describe the ability of sheet metal that to maintain its structural integrity while being plastically deformed into a shape. Plastically deformed means permanent deformation we can make with the sheet metal also. So failure can occur by what are all the failure factors that is available with the sheet metal? Yes, the failure can occur by tearing, buckling, and wrinkling or excessive thinning. So these are all the things which are involved in sheet metal formability. So here you see the diagram is available. In the diagram the horizontal representation and vertical representation, two representations I presented. Here the vertical representation indicates the sheet metal thickness and the horizontal indication determines the necking that is available with the sheet metal. Yeah, after getting the elongated necking, the fracture is available with the sheet metal. In that, there are four diagrams. In bottom of this necking diagram, there is four diagrams available. These are also involved in sheet metal failures. Those are first diagram represents the tearing of sheet metal. The second diagram is buckling of sheet metal. Generally, you may visit in a market also. You may see these kind of actions on sheet metal. This kind of foldings are available with the sheet metal also. This folding is called as buckling. After that, wrinkling is some waviness that is available with the sheet metal surfaces, which waviness is called as wrinkling. And then the excessive thinning is also available with the sheet metal. The excessive thinning gives a ease of failure with the sheet metal. So excessive thinning also we resist with that sheet metal. So these are all the failure that are available with the sheet metal forming. So sheet metal should possess its formability in engineering applications. So the sheet metal should possess distribute the strain in the sheet uniformly. Okay, and then achieve high strain levels without necking or fracture. If I give a heavy load means also the sheet metal does not undergoes any necking or fracturing. So and then withstand in plain compressive stresses without wrinkling. In top side right corner there is a wrinkling diagram available. We should arrest this wrinkling also. So the sheet metal should possess with the resisting force against the wrinkling, and then sheet metal should withstand in plane shear stresses without fracturing, and then it retain pod shape on removal from the die. If after pressing the sheet metal it into the female die or male die means we can remove the sheet metal as a plastic deformation. So retain its part shape in its body. So then finally it retain a smooth surface and resist surface damages. So some type of tiny cracks and some drill cracks likewise available. So the smooth surface retained and also it resists surface damage. So these are all the formability characterized ticks that should process with the sheet metal. And then what are all the terms, important terms that are available with the sheet metal means there are three terms available. Those are strain hardening exponent, strain rate sensitivity, and plastic strain ratio. Here, what is meant by strain hardening exponent? Here, small n is always denoted with for strain hardening exponent. So, small n is equal to natural logarithm of sigma divided by d of natural logarithm of eta. Here, what is sigma and eta? Sigma is always represented true stress and eta is always represented true strain in engineering subjects. So we can utilize the same notations for representing the strain hardening exponent, which can be expressed in n is equal to natural logarithm of sigma divided by d of natural logarithm of eta. And then second important term is strain rate sensitivity, which can be represented with the small m. So small m is equal to d of natural logarithm of sigma, which means true stress, divided by d of natural logarithm of eta, which means true strain. So we can represent strain rate sensitivity with this expression. And then third important term is plastic strain ratio. The plastic strain ratio is represented with a small r. Small r is equal to eta w divided by eta t. Here, what is eta w? The strain, true strain in the width direction can be represented with the eta w. And what is eta t? Eta t is the true strain in its thickness direction. So that plastic strain ratio represented with the width direction to thickness direction of strain values. So which can be also represented with the natural logarithm of w by w naught. Here w is width and w naught is the original width, and then divided by natural logarithm of t by t naught. T means thickness and t naught means original thickness. T means after we are conducting any processing on the materials, means it can be represented, and after processing the thickness can be measured and it can be represented with the T itself. And T naught means before processing original thickness. So the ratio between after processing and before processing is the ratio of strain. Okay, we can with this we can represent plastic strain ratio. The plastic strain ratio value is measured of the ability of the material to resist thinning. Already I told you what is meant by thinning. So we can maintain the uniform thickness of sheet metal, so that we should try to insist the property of resisting of thinning with the sheet metal. Okay, if I reduce the width, means the thinning effect gives the resistance against the width reduction in sheet metal. And then the variation of the strain hardening exponent as a function of the ratio of engineering ultimate tensile strength to true yield stress, which is also involved in a strain hardening exponent. And the second important term is strain rate sensitivity. What is meant by strain rate sensitivity, which can be also represented with the capital S or S, which means flow stress is an important parameter for deformation mechanism of materials. Definition of SRS is based on incremental changes in strain rate during tests performed at a fixed temperature and fixed microstructure to determine corresponding changes in flow stress. So this is the explanation that is associated with the strain rate sensitivity. And the third important term is plastic strain ratio. Already you are aware about how can we represent plastic strain ratio with the mathematical expression. What is the definition for plastic strain ratio? Let's see, which is a measure of the ability of a sheet metal to resist thinning or thickening when subjected to a tensile or compressive force. So these are all the important terms which are involved in sheet metal formability. And then forming limit diagram is the next important thing which are available with the sheet metal formability. In that, in y-axis there is major strain available, in x-axis there is a minor strain available. Here, what is major strain and what is minor strain? Let's see. The major strain is defined as the strain in the direction of the maximum strain, and the minor strain is the strain perpendicular to the major strain. So major strain and the minor strain acted as a perpendicular direction in the forming limit diagram, and the major strain is always positive and plotted on the vertical axis. As like this diagram, the major strain is represented with the vertical axis, while the minor strain is plotted in the horizontal axis. And then, how can we practice, how can we study this diagram, which is the next question. To practice the forming limit diagram, to locate the position on the chart for the major strain. Major strain, I already told you, major strain always positive, and minor strain, that is the most critical combination in the part to be formed. Here part means sheet metal. So failure will occur if the point is above the forming limit diagram for the sheet metal. So the point should be lying within the forming limit diagram, means we can arrest the failure of sheet metal. So a forming limit diagram has been established for sheet metals by subjecting the sheet to various ratios. Here ratio means the major to minor in plane strains, and plotting the locus of strain ratios for which local thinning. Here local thinning means necking. What is local thinning? Yes, thinning during forming is often considered a failure criterion in the metal forming industry. It is believed that a critical amount of thinning takes place in a sheet metal before failure, and failure occur. So strain conditions on the left side available, where in that where circles distort to ellipses represent drawing conditions, while the right side where circles distort to larger circles corresponds to stretch conditions. When the minor strain is 0, here you see, when the minor strain is 0, a plane strain condition is developed. A forming limit diagram, which is the forming limit diagram, is used to determine how close the material is to failure, and how can we lubricate the die parameters should be adjusted to take the material away from the failure conditions. Because of this diagram only, the sheet metal forming engineer should aware about how can we arrest the failure, when the failure should be occurred, how can we maintain the die lubrication level. Likewise, he make the decisions. So we should aware about the forming limit diagram that should be drawn between minor strain to major strain. Now you are aware about the formability of materials, basic definitions.